Welcome back to my YouTube channel, my live stream. This is Jacob Cast 2024. We're going to talk about WWE Friday Night SmackDown, the Go Home show for the Chamber, el- the Go Home show for el- the Go Home show for the Elimination Chamber, e- Elimination Chamber for the Elimination Chamber. Um, yeah. The Chamber pay-per-view tomorrow. It might come on early, I think. Maybe at 7 and goes off at 10. Might be 2.5 hours. I'll be able to watch it on ESPN. Now, first I want to go through the matches and some of the segments here on SmackDown. Oh, wait, CM Punk. My bad. I meant to write Finn Balor and CM Punk. Why did I write AJ Styles? Well, too late now. I'll probably change it after. Well, I can't change it now, but I'll just change it after. Yeah. Okay, so might will get into this already. We will go through some of the news and rumors. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below if y'all want to see more. My video is sponsored by my favorite podcasters and YouTubers like Solomonster, Fightful, Pro Wrestling, JD from New York, and other podcasts I know of in the IWC. Okay, now the show opened up with well, I'm not gonna call it a match. I mean, it was just a segment to open the show with I think all the competitors like Orton, Cody, Trick, and LA Knight, Javon Evans. We did get a brawl at the open the show with all the competitors in the men's elimination chamber. We did see Randy Orton, RKO, Javon Evans. So I mean, leave that there, or now we did get a segment where Jey Uso was attacked by someone. Some people thought it was Jacob Fatu. I don't think it was Cody. It wasn't making sense. It wouldn't be Jacob. It could have been Logan Paul who attacked Jey Uso, because Logan Paul got a qualifying match. He beat Jacob Fatu thanks to Drew McIntyre, and now Logan Paul is the sixth man to be added to the chamber. Now, based on what I saw, clearly it had to be Logan Paul. I think they're setting up Logan Paul and Austin Theory to face the Uso for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. I think Logan Paul was the guy who attacked Jey Uso tonight backstage, and now he qualified for the chamber. He's in it. He's not gonna win it, but he's in it. Now, the first match was Solo Sikoa and the Wyatt Sits, Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy and Solo Sikoa, that was the first match on the show. Uncle Howdy beat Solo Sikoa in like 13 minutes, only just for the MT to come back and take the lantern. So, well, this feud still going to continue. This god-awful feud, the terrible storyline with the Wyatt Sit and the MFTs is still going to continue. They still got the lantern. Okay, how you still going to get it back? I don't know why. Now, we did get Tiffany Stratton versus Candice LeRae. I'm pretty sure Tiffany is in it, is she? I think she's in it, I forgot. Candice LeRae, Tiffany Stratton won. He got the victory there. Femi versus The Miz. He beat The Miz like a squat match. It was pretty easy. Pretty easy there. We did get another open challenge with the U.S. champion Carmelo Hayes versus Matt Cardona. I don't think we have Matt Cardona on here, obviously, because he's on TNA. But he is on here. I'll just pick someone else. For your title, Johnny Gar. Oh wait. Wait, Jordan Grace versus. Hold on. Isn't that Ken Lloyd right there? And then we got Jordan Grace. It's called. Oh wait, it says Jordan Grace. It says Johnny Gargano caught. Oh, God damn it! Oh, damn it! Gargano caught his wife Candice. Oh, we had Jordan Grace and Candice LeRae. So Gargano caught Candice LeRae in match with Jordan Grace. Oh, so it was she take down Kairi Sane. Oh, I forgot. It was Tiffany Stratton take down Kairi Sane. I thought it was actually wasn't Candice. I forgot. It was Kairi Sane. My bad. Made a mistake there. Not sure we have Jordan Grace on here. But we did get Jordan Grace and Candice LeRae. Not sure we have Jordan Grace on here, so I'll just pick no, there's no Jordan Grace on here. As you probably living. Now, there was a pretty interesting backstage segment with Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn. Sami melted down with Fatu, telling him, like, are you blaming Cody? You're going after Jay? So there's some heated exchange there. I don't know if Sami Zayn going to get added to the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see. But tensions are rising here. Now, for the women's tag team titles, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They defended their titles against Nia Jax and Last Legend. And Last Legend got the victory. Then the main event with Jacob Fatu and Logan Paul. Logan Paul got the victory because Drew McIntyre got involved and cost Fatu the qualifying match. Clearly they're setting up a fatal four-way. Fatu was screwed again by Drew McIntyre. Were there 7 matches, really? Alright. We have new tag team champion. Yeah, so, okay. Now, as for the Chamber pay-per-view, we know that there's like 4 matches, by the way. CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's IC Championship. And then we got the Women's Chamber. And then the Men's Chamber. And for the Women's Chamber, then we got Rhea Oh, hold on. I have to look at this. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. Trying to get into the main chamber with Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Jake, LA Knight, Logan Paul, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams. Well, pretty obvious who's going to win it. It's between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Logan Paul was added at the very last minute. He's not winning it. LA Knight's not winning it because he's not on SmackDown. He's on Raw. Javon Evans and Trick Williams are newcomers who were just called up like last month on SmackDown. So they knew they aren't winning it. They're not ready for the main event. It's either Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes. We'll get some tension there. Hopefully a team between Orton and Cody. Now we could see Fatu get involved in this match, or Drew McIntyre get involved in the match. But I think we all know where it's going to be leading to. And for the woman, Alexa Bliss, Kiana James, and there's other people involved here. Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley was involved. They're in the chamber. It probably between Alexa Bliss could win it. That will be who faces Jade Cargill.
Mystery on our hands, right? WWE loving these mysteries.
The bar's in hell, but it was better. It was better. I know.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good to know. That's good. Wow. Yeah. To keep Chelsea Green happy
Yeah.
and have them together. That's really the only reason I think he has a job.
All right.
So the match was good. Cardona did hit the Rough Rider, but you had the kick out from Carmelo, and then Carmelo won with the first 48. Again, you know you're low on the totem pole when you lose to the first 48 and not nothing but net. Just saying. After the match, they had a handshake. Cardona raised his hand. So yeah, Cardona put over Carmelo, as he should, but I still wonder what was the whole point in bringing back Cardona if he's just going to be in the same spot he was in before. Guess you can always use a few good bodies. Then we had R-Truth with the lower card baby faces, you know.
I'm going to Denise.
Howdy beating Solo for the lantern. If MFT was just gonna swipe it again, it's Axiom's mask all over again. I kept saying I'm at that point. Why doesn't frickin' Uncle Howdy just grab the damn lantern and run? Or not run, maybe turn the lights off and disappear. I'm sorry. It's not really my storyline that I'm interested in. There was maybe one moment that I liked in that match with Uncle Howdy and Solo Sikoa, and it was when Solo Sikoa attempted to do Sister Abigail. I thought that was really, really funny, actually. But other than that, it was a very, very slow match. And again, that's just not the feud that I'm invested in. And I don't really care for them having to chase after the lantern. It makes this creepy faction look really less creepy if they can't just get their damn lantern back, alright? Turn the lights off, swipe it, turn the lights on, bam.
Yeah, so I forgot we got Oscar, Katana James, Raquel Rodriguez, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Tiffany Stratton. I'm not sure who's gonna win here. It's not gonna be Tiffany. I don't think Rhea gonna win it. It may be Alexa Bliss. I don't know if Raquel's gonna win. I don't think she needs it. But she's on Raw, not SmackDown. Oscar's not gonna win it. Katana James, that's not a WrestleMania match. I can see Alexa Bliss win the Women's Chamber and facing her. Maybe we'll see Charlotte get involved. We'll just have to wait and see.
We're good to go. Too many I guess you can say, other things that you can do that would not make it goofy. Thank you, Juan. We got Lyman Hung here. Lyman Hung 1702, who says, what WWE could do for Tiffany at Mania? Well, I was gonna say she's been having a lot of beef with Chelsea, but Chelsea's injured, so like Chelsea, my apologies. Sorry, guys. I disconnected. I got too excited.
Okay. Okay.
And something that stands out, wins people over. Highly doubted Stanhausen. He doesn't need WWE. If anything, he'll be on a mystery wrestling show before he.
There's a Wheezy
We said
blowing.
this earlier, and I did.
I'm gonna show y'all another podcast of Good My Word commentaries.
And we will touch a little bit on Wednesday's Dynamite. Now, I did not find this week's Dynamite nearly as good as the past 2 weeks. I thought the last two Dynamites were really good. This week was okay, but I didn't really enjoy the MJF and Hangman segment because I thought it was kind of pointless, and also we had a pretty devastating injury as well on Dynamite, so maybe not as strong of a show as they have been doing, but a couple of things noteworthy that we are going to talk about in terms of Dynamite. Then we will predict all, I guess, 5 matches on Elimination Chamber. We've got the 4 big ones, and then, of course, we have who's coming out of the box. And we may have gotten some hints on who's coming out of that box today based on a certain someone that is insinuating that he is free and clear from AEW. So we will talk about who I believe will be in the box, and I will save that for the predictions. But we're going to open up with some AJ Styles news. I also want to talk about the Bronson Reed injury. We'll touch on the Darby Allin Uber incident from yesterday, and we'll run through some Dynamite results a little bit, recap what happened there, and then we will jump into our Elimination Chamber predictions. I expect this to be probably an hour and a half long podcast here, and then I've got to go to work, and then I am off for 4 days. So I'm excited to have a nice big chunk of time off after tonight, and like I said, it's going to be a big weekend here on the channel. So I'll say hello to everybody in the chat real quick, and then I'll let you guys know what we have planned for tomorrow and for Sunday. And we'll dive into the news and whatnot. It's good to see everybody who is here. I know it's a Friday afternoon. Friday afternoons are weird. We will have this podcast done in just a minute. It is good to see our friends. We can continue salute. I think that might even tread beyond. Also on Raw, by the way, on the Talk and Shop podcast. And he talked about how fans wanted him to go to AEW, and he even referenced or acknowledged the fact that some fans are saying, oh, WWE put him in the Hall of Fame so he won't go to AEW. And he said, no, that's not the case. I'm a grown man. I'm 49 years old. I make my own decision. It's my decision to retire. I'm hurt. I'm a mess. It's time. I want to retire. I'm a man of encompass TNA and Bob creative situation in WWE. It already feels like they're just not really sure what they want to do. They don't know what they want to do with Drew. They don't know what they want to do with Jade. And these are things that you should have already long since figured out by now, and they just didn't. So all the best to Bronson Reed and all the best to the WWE creative monkeys who are going to attempt to rework this angle with the Masked Man. And I don't know how they're going to do that. I think the Masked Man might have to transfer his energy and attention over maybe to Lesnar and whatnot, or I don't know. And if the Masked Man was going to be Seth Rollins and it was going to be him and Breaker, we don't even know. Like, we don't know. I mean, and if Seth is under the mask, then, you know, he's going to have to come out from under that mask if he wants to have a WrestleMania match. He's probably going to have to do that early, but from his own mouth, it's up to the doctors. He doesn't know yet if he's going to be cleared. So we have a lot of unanswered plans, and if WWE already doesn't have, you know, their shit together creatively as it is, these injuries are only making things worse, and this WrestleMania could just be a complete fucking disaster. Let's hope that they can land on their feet And all of this confusion, frustration, and discombobulation results in a great WrestleMania, because we're going to be here to watch it together, and I don't want to watch a crappy show. And also, of course, best of luck to Bronson Reed and his recovery. It absolutely sucks. Just heartbreaking. Just gutting, you know? Fucking sucks. Did you guys see this this shit from yesterday involving Darby Allin? So Darby, for some reason, decides to do an interview, like a live stream interview on some, Hangman, I think that stipulation is still intact of him never being able to challenge for the title again. Did they realize that was dumb and scrap it, or is that still a thing? So I think that's still in play as well, which means they're going to have to figure out in the future a way to undo that if Hangman loses like we expect him to at Revolution. So I kind of thought the Hangman and MJF stuff was a little lame. I like Brody King coming out there and prying the coin out of his hand. That was funny and everything, but the whole segment in general just kind of seemed a little bit silly. The other major thing that happened on Dynamite, we had a tag team title match with the Babes of Wrath defending against Megabat. So it's Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne getting the title shot here. And Penelope goes up to the top rope during this match to go for a top rope.
Hold on. I just want to show y'all the other podcasters first. Like, there's another YouTuber, another podcaster, Just Alex. Gonna show him a little bit.
So, which one would I like?
Alright, hold on.
Immortal Consequences fits that spicy paranormal romance.
Oh wait, it's still coming on. Okay, hold on. Come on now. Alright. Here's Solomon Monster. In my face. Yeah. I didn't think that.
During this match to go for a top rope moonsault onto Willow and Harley Cameron. And when she comes down, she wasn't caught very well in her surgery, and it's got to be Jericho. If it's backstage, Jericho if it's in the ring, but I still need to predict which one of those two I think it will be. I'm going to go Danhausen just because of the odds. I feel like the odds are more in that favor. I just question, is Danhausen a big enough name to have a PLE segment? Those guys are full-time compared to her. So, for AJ Lee or two, and nobody sees any of this, Balor gets back in the ring and notices Punk is down, goes and hits the coup de Gracie, pins him, and wins the title, and has no idea that his Judgment Day friends helped him out until maybe he sees
anyone
a
didn't think
replay
that
on Raw. Or maybe they do the thing where he doesn't see until the next day and he confronts him on Raw. But maybe right after the match, as he's celebrating in front of the Chicago crowd, a replay is playing on the Tron, and he's got the belt and he sees it. And all of a sudden, all this joy is kind of like, oh, I wanted to do it on my own. I didn't do it on my own. And then there's like remorse. And then on Monday, he comes out to the ring and he calls out CM Punk. I won this belt, yeah, I beat you, but I didn't beat you fair and square, like I wanted to. So how about we do a rematch right now? One-on-one, get Pierce out here, ban everybody from the building, ban Judgment Day from ringside. If anybody from Judgment Day shows up at ringside, they are suspended indefinitely. Dominic, if you show up, I'm stripping you of your IC title and that other one that belongs to AAA. You're no longer going to be a champion. You are fucking fired. Just make some sort of stip like that. Punk and Balor return match on Raw, Punk wins the belt back. And there you go. Maybe they could do that. But I feel like WWE never wants to have any fun. You know, whenever you have a good, fun idea that just feels like an absolute can't miss, WWE, it's not even on WWE's radar, you know, they're not going to do that. But that is one thing you can do to make this match maybe less predictable, is keep us on our toes. Ripley lost the belt last year. She was never able to get it back, but maybe Punk loses the title, and for 24 hours we're panicking about WrestleMania now. I guess it's going to be Balor and Roman. And then out comes Balor the next night. We get the return match. Punk wins the belt back to become, what, a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion? Since coming back, I would be fine with that. So I'm still going to predict Punk to retain, but I would love it if they threw a scenario like that at us. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, that leaves us now with the women's, or the 2 chamber matches. We're going to start with the women's chamber. This one is a little difficult to predict because we still don't know what Jade Cargill is going to do at WrestleMania, and I don't think WWE does either. Now, I had been saying over my past couple of podcasts when we were looking at the field, I'm like, you know, if WWE, if their intent or their goal is to put the best looking card on WrestleMania as possible, the best looking match you could do with the women involved in that chamber would be Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. They've had a couple of teases on screen, but not as much as they've teased Cargill and Charlotte. And Charlotte, of course, lost her qualifier last week, and then all week long on social media she's been doing the gimmick where she's fine, I'm fine with my loss. So they keep harping on that, which makes me think this isn't quite over yet. So that kind of moves, to me anyway, Alexa Bliss up to the top of the possibilities here, because if Alexa Bliss wins the match, then she's got the match with Cargill, and you could have Charlotte outwardly supporting her, but inside it's eating away at her, and maybe there's something going on there. There's also the possibility of Jade defending in a 3-way, but that would be horrible. If Jade Cargill and Drew McIntyre both wind up defending their championships in a 3-way, my question is to you, what the fuck is the Elimination Chamber for then? Because the winners of both did not get one-on-one matches versus the champions at WrestleMania. It's a multi-person deal. So how can you in the future use the chamber matches to determine a challenger if both matches have got funny business and both result in multiple wrestler title matches anyway? Kind of renders the Elimination Chamber pointless. So I feel like Drew or Jade will have a multi-challenger defense at WrestleMania, but not both. You can't do both. You can't. So when it comes to Jade, if she's going to wrestle just one woman, and one woman only, when you look at that field, they're all involved in tag teams except for Tiffany and Kiana James. We're ruling out Kiana James. Put a big old X through her face. She ain't winning. Asuka's probably not winning either, one half of the Kabukis. Alexa probably isn't winning, although a lot of fans are thinking that she will win and then Charlotte will get factored in. Don't forget, Charlotte got added to that Ronda Rousey and Becky match years ago, so if she finds her way in somehow, I don't know how you would storyline write that, because Charlotte just simply lost her qualifier. She didn't get fucked over or nothing. She's lost. So I think her worming her way in would be lame. So I don't think it's going to be Alexa Bliss. We've got Asuka, of course, one half of the Kabuki. Yes, and a big multi-tag team affair with a bunch of women. Quite time for a Cody heel turn yet. We're getting there, but I don't think yet. So I don't think it's Cody either. And certainly it wouldn't be Tricky William or Javon or Jay or LA Knight either. At least probably not. But Randy Orton, to me, seems like he would have to be the guy now. The one that did it. Because didn't Jacob get, teeth knocked out? I feel like he'd have to kick somebody to knock that many teeth out. And what is Randy Orton's favorite move? The punt. Maybe he punted Jacob, and Jacob has no idea. So here's one idea I have for how you could make this a 4-way. So you actually have Cody Rhodes winning. Maybe it comes down, what I definitely feel like needs to happen is Cody and Randy need to be the final 2. I also feel like Cody would be the best one to win this match, and then you add the other guys in. So there's my first revelation right there. I'm predicting Cody Rhodes to win. But I'm not predicting Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre one-on-one at WrestleMania. So if it's not going to be Drew and Cody one-on-one, how do you get to the multi-man match? Here's what I would do. Or here's one idea. Maybe not what I would do, but just a general idea, outline, and you guys can tweak it and make it pretty for yourselves. I would have Cody and Orton be the final two. You can have Drew out there causing problems. You can do whatever you want. Have a lot of other shit going on. But ultimately, it's down to Cody and Randy. Cody wins. Beats Randy Orton. Maybe Randy has got him, remember how Cody took advantage of Sami? Or took advantage of the situation with Sami Zayn, when all that was going down, and took advantage of a situation to win the match, and he told the latter to win the Money in the Bank. Yeah, so he just...
He was just trying to catch a break. You know what I... Tomorrow night is the Elimination Chamber. And I expect that both chamber matches tomorrow are going to be very good. Last year we had the Women's Elimination Chamber match. I thought it was the best one that they've ever done with the women. And you look at the lineup of talent that they have in both of these matches, I think it would be hard for them to go in there and have bad matches tomorrow. So I'm sure the matches themselves are going to deliver, but they have not been helped by anything that WWE has done to get them there. I can't really say that WWE has done a whole hell of a lot to inspire excitement around these Elimination Chamber matches. But the talent will go out tomorrow night. The talent will do what the talent usually does. They'll go in there and they'll deliver. We had a change to the Elimination Chamber tonight on the men's side. Now, if we go back to Raw Monday night, we had one last qualifying match. It was Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, and El Grande Americano. That was going to fill the final spot in the men's chamber match. We now know that it was supposed to be Bronson Reed. He got hurt. Torn bicep. He's gone. Jey Uso got the win. Yee. And so, Jey Uso was going to be one of many baby faces in this match. Trick Williams was really the only heel that was slotted into the men's Elimination Chamber match. And you can barely call him that because every time he comes out, the fans cheer for him. Now there's talk that WWE is thinking about turning him babyface, which would be the worst fucking thing they could do. Don't do anything. Leave him alone. Let him get over organically. The last thing we need is for WWE to start pushing him as a fucking babyface. So don't fuck with that. But it threw their plans into a bit of chaos here because they wanted the Vision in the chamber, and now they had Jey Uso in there, and that changed everything. And so tonight, SmackDown came on the air with yet another mystery angle. Now, at least this one was something that they had to come up with at the last minute to try to get things back in order, but it was not lost on me that here we are again with Paul Levesque doing yet another mystery angle. At a time where we have a masked man, a mysterious masked man running around, and we have the crate that's going to be opened at the Elimination Chamber tomorrow. We have yet another mystery man. But he was taken out by somebody, and we did not find out yet who that person was. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I wonder if the implication here is that the same person who took out Jacob Fatu all those months ago, who he still believes was Drew McIntyre, is going to end up being revealed as the same person who took out Jey Uso from the Elimination Chamber match. We shall see on that if that ends up panning out that way. But, I was wondering, okay, what are they going to do here? It was a hot angle to start the show. Chaos, an ambulance in the back, and everyone's freaking out, what's going on here, right? It was a hot way to start the show. And I'm thinking, what are they going to do here? And somebody online, they tweeted me with the suggestion that perhaps Nick Aldis would force Drew McIntyre to put his WWE Championship on the line inside the chamber. And I was very intrigued by this idea because it's not as if we haven't had Elimination Chamber matches in the past where the championship was being defended. I mean, we've had that multiple times.
So the more I thought about it, I thought, you know what? I like that idea. I like that idea a lot because you still have 7 weeks left to build to WrestleMania. A lot of different things can happen as far as how do you crown a new number 1 contender for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, presumably on night 1. And it can make the next 7 weeks of television that much more interesting. Unfortunately, they did not go in that direction tonight. And so what we ended up with was a match between Jacob Fatu and Logan Paul. Because the Vision showed up. Or I should say what's left of it.
If we leave it things properly, we don't want to see it.
Now, the Vision is Logan Paul and Austin Theory. There is no Vision. The Vision is obscured. The Vision is blurry. But we had Logan Paul against Jacob Fatu in the main event tonight. And they went with, I guess, what should have been the obvious outcome here, which is they basically just substituted one Vision member for another. Instead of Bronson Reed going to the Elimination Chamber, as was rumored to be the original plan, it is going to be Logan Paul. Where I presume the real Masked Man is going to show up and end up costing Logan Paul his shot to go to WrestleMania to compete for the WWE Championship. And if you're wondering what I mean when I say the real Masked Man, because we had the Masked Man unmasked during the main event tonight. Would you like to see who the Masked Man was that we are led to believe has been running around now for months, weeks and weeks and weeks? Here is the Masked Man, everybody. The Masked Man was... I have no fucking idea. It's a guy. Just a guy. You might call him the Decoy. Clearly, if we are going to get a reveal at the end of all this, this will not be the Masked Man. Seth Rollins will be the Masked Man. That is, of course, if they are even going to give us a reveal of who the Masked Man really is. Because part of me does wonder, in light of how just absolutely unlucky the Vision has been, and how this group has fallen apart, if maybe this was their way of just writing off this dumb angle tonight. You know what? I don't think it is, but honestly, I wouldn't be mad. Seriously. I would not be mad if it was. Because this Masked Man angle at this point is just a lost cause. More likely, though, than not, we will get the actual reveal tomorrow at the Elimination Chamber. I presume it will end up being Seth Rollins. So we shall see. But yes, if you believe that was the actual Masked Man, you don't.
Even
A lot of
though
very confused people, including Joe Tessitore on commentary when the mask came off. Can you imagine that was the guy, though? Just some random guys who are running around for weeks. Everyone's like, oh boy, what big name is the Masked Man? And they take the mask off. And it's some, like, indie guy who was just trying to catch a break. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you do what you got to do to get noticed, I guess, right? One thing that is very clear to me from watching this main event tonight, Jacob Fatu is going to be wrestling for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. That's the one really big positive to come out of what they did in the main event tonight, because Jacob Fatu lost that match because he got blasted in the head by Drew McIntyre with the WWE title. Drew McIntyre, who had been thrown out of the building, ejected out of the building, escorted out of the building earlier in the show by Nick Aldis, he wasn't even supposed to be there. This is the second time now that Drew McIntyre has fucked Jacob Fatu out of a spot in the Elimination Chamber and has screwed him out of the chance to go to WrestleMania to wrestle for the championship. There's no way at this point that Nick Aldis does not, at some point between now and WrestleMania, in the build-up to that show, give Jacob Fatu the opportunity at least to earn his way into the WWE title match. Because I believe Cody Rhodes will win the Chamber tomorrow. But Jacob Fatu is going to end up in that match. If not a fatal four-way, we are going to get a triple threat match. Of that, I am convinced. After what we saw in the main event tonight. And that's a good thing, because ain't nobody want to see Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre one-on-one for the WWE Championship. Not after we have seen it time and time and time and time again. We saw it in 3 Stages of Hell. We have seen it multiple times at this point. That cannot be the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. So Jacob Fatu, in defeat, I believe, punched his ticket to the WrestleMania title match. How he gets there, of course, we'll have to watch the show and we'll have to wait and see. But he's been screwed twice now. So if anybody deserves some justice here, it is Jacob Fatu.
But in addition to that, we have new women's tag team champions, Nia Jax and Lash Legend. They call themselves now the Irresistible Forces. Beat Rhea Ripley and Io Sky to win the women's tag team titles in what I thought was a pretty good match. And honestly, nobody is happier than I, because it means that Rhea Ripley and I hope Io Sky will end up having other roles, singles roles on the WrestleMania card. I'm a little less sure of where Io goes from here, unless the idea is to put her in the ring with Julia for a U.S. title match. But Rhea Ripley losing the tag team titles tonight clearly now paves the way for her to challenge Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. They, when you look at the matches that they could have done, I am certain that had she been able to come back earlier, the WrestleMania match was going to be Bianca Belair against Jade Cargill. And when it became clear that Bianca Belair was not going to make it back in time for WrestleMania, the next logical choice, you would think, in terms of name value, in terms of big stars that you can put in the ring with Jade, would have been Charlotte Flair. When Charlotte Flair was eliminated and did not qualify for the Elimination Chamber, I predicted that, hey, Alexa Bliss will win the Elimination Chamber, and then they will find a way to get Charlotte Flair in that match, and we'll get a triple threat match at WrestleMania, right? Wouldn't be the first time that Charlotte Flair worked her way into a match to make it a triple threat at WrestleMania. But then I watched the show tonight, and we got yet another tease of Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, another run-in the backstage area. And then a few segments later, Rhea Ripley loses her tag team championship. She is no longer shackled to the tag team titles. And she is one of 6 in the Elimination Chamber tomorrow. So you put 2 and 2 together, and what is the next, outside of the people that we already know are not facing Jade, what is the biggest possible match they could do with Jade Cargill at WrestleMania? It's Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. The woman who apparently has the highest score, the highest ranking in all of WWE 2K26. I think she is ranked head and shoulders above everybody else, certainly on the women's side. But I think overall, is that what I read? That Rhea has the biggest score. I think even higher than Roman Reigns, which makes sense because Roman only wrestles 5 times a year. So, I mean, Rhea's there every week. So, yes, Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, it's in the backstage area. The 2-hour show. So I don't want a solution tonight that we needed to this feud. A feud that nobody asked for. A feud that is actively dragging both groups and dragging this show down into the abyss. That was the worst thing on the entire show. Now we had some news as well. They announced tonight that WrestleMania, of course, 2 nights as usual. The first night of first of all, both nights of WrestleMania are kicking off at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which I don't remember what it was last year. Maybe it was 6 last year. I thought it was 7. 6 p.m. Eastern start time for both nights of WrestleMania this year. WrestleMania Saturday, the first hour of the show, in addition, of course, to airing on the ESPN app or ESPN Unlimited, whatever it is, the first hour of night 1 is going to be, I guess, simulcast on ESPN 2. The first hour of WrestleMania Sunday is going to be simulcast live on the main ESPN channel. So for the first time ever, WrestleMania will technically be airing on ESPN. It's only the first hour of night 2, but it is airing on ESPN. So I don't know how that's going to work in terms of commercial breaks or anything like that, but that was some news that they dropped on us during the show tonight. I just want to put this guy's face on the screen one more time. If somebody recognizes him, I don't know, maybe he's from Evolve or someone at the Performance Center. I don't know who this guy is. He looks like a wrestler. Got the green hair. He looks, I do appreciate it. Completely ineffective and impotent as the general manager of this show. Or who? And as he did with the attack on Jacob Fatu many months ago, he's consistent.
Before we get into anything,
Let's go into JD from New York.
spoke with mostly sports than Cody Rhodes, not the geek.
results address the unpredictable nature of this year's WrestleMania and the road to WrestleMania and the creative direction under predictable Paul. Triple H. Good old Levesque over there, huh? Enjoy the season, says Cody. It's unpredictable this year, Cody said. I know there's a little bit of impatience in general. A little bit? There's a little bit of impatience, Cody says. Chad, is there only a little bit of impatience? I'm sensing a growing sentiment of impatience everywhere. What are the matches? It's a road to WrestleMania, and I think what Triple H will, ... I think there's a sleeper WrestleMania emerging, if that makes any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense, Cody. Sometimes the tenures are very obvious. Sometimes the big staple pieces like John Cena's final match. I think we're getting a sleeper WrestleMania here. Well, to be fair, Cole, we haven't seen anything that resembles a fucking WrestleMania worthy of a WrestleMania. So, I mean, maybe that's the case, but the way there is very, very bumpy as of today, February 27th, 2026. It's fucking March. That's right, it's March. Bro, we've been on this road since, theoretically, if you want to go back to January 5th. We've been on this road since January 5th and the one-year anniversary of Netflix. Officially, the road to WrestleMania starts at the Royal Rumble, which was the last Saturday in January. It was only a few weeks ago. And now we're going into March. By the end of this weekend, we will be in March. You would think that the road to WrestleMania would be in full swing, bro. I'm still waiting for it to happen. You guys are still waiting for it to happen. It's fucking boring. Boring. Let's wait. Let's cherry pick things and do things in a timely manner, bro. We need something now. What are we waiting for? The big story tonight. Jey Uso. We won't be running it back, chat. We won't be running it back. There'll be no yeeting in the fucking chamber. There'll be no this. We're not gonna run it back. Yeet Man has been eliminated from the Elimination Chamber. You know, I find it funny, man. The new thing in WWE, the growing trend, the fad in the Fed is mystery. They love their mysteries. Either somebody's been watching some Alfred Hitchcock, or someone's been watching Scooby-Doo. Reggie? Let me at him! Let me at him, Scoob! Those are the days, man. Those are the days. What's with the mystery in WWE? We got Jacob Fatu. Nobody knows who attacked him yet. Apparently, Drew McIntyre. We didn't really get a definitive statement on who actually did that. We got the Masked Man. We got a second Masked Man. Now we got the crate. What's in the crate? The crate will be revealed tomorrow night. Can't wait for that to fucking flop. And tonight we got the mystery of who attacked Jey Uso. You know, I would really appreciate if you square away the other two mysteries that you got on your program before you dive into another mystery. What's with the mysteries? What's with the mystery? Everything's a fucking mystery in this company. Everything's a masked man. Everything's being held in secret fucking... Can't say it. It's ordered under lock and key. We can't say anything. We can't show anything. We can't do anything. You know what's a fucking mystery? Why this show's so fucking terrible every fucking week. That's the biggest mystery of all. You got all these people running the show, and they are the 4 horsemen of boredom. The 4 horsemen of boring. Triple H, Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard, and... Oh, you didn't know? Who attacked Jey Uso? Who gives a shit? The only likely suspect is Randy Orton. I see people coming up with theories on who attacked Jey Uso. First of all, nobody gives a fuck. It's not leading to anything major. The only one that makes sense is Randy Orton. The only one. Drew McIntyre didn't do it. The fuck does Drew McIntyre have to do with Jey Uso? Maybe because he's attacking Jacob Fatu and that's his cousin? Who gives a shit? Really? He's the Monday Night Raw Tag Team Champion. He don't give a fuck. Some people were saying it's Jimmy Uso. Why would Jimmy Uso attack his brother and take him out of the chamber when weeks ago it was Jimmy himself that told Jay, go into the chamber and win the fucking match. Go to WrestleMania and win the world title. Some people were saying it's Jacob Fatu. I don't see that being anywhere close to a possibility. Some people said it might have been the Vision. JD, it was Logan Paul and Austin Theory. They attacked Jey Uso to take him out of the match and set up a tag team title match at WrestleMania. No. No. You guys may be worse than Levesque with that idea. Sami Zayn is a possibility. I don't know why we are maybe contemplating turning Sami Zayn heel. I don't know why anybody would want that. Do you guys want Sami Zayn as a heel? I figured Randy Orton would attack Jey Uso. Randy Orton maybe will be revealed as the real attacker for Jacob Fatu. He's got a lot of history with the Bloodline, bro. He's got a lot of history with the Bloodline. Remember, the Bloodline put him out for 18 months. It could be Randy Orton. Maybe Sami Zayn. Sami was acting a little suspicious tonight. You know, normally, when you watch a mystery, when someone goes up to somebody else, they cast blame on that person and immediately say, well, we all know it wasn't me. Maybe it is Sami. Sami's been acting a little cuckoo lately. He's been acting a little unhinged. He's been acting a little jealous. He sees everybody else getting an opportunity, and he's not getting an opportunity. He's looking to place blame on everybody else but himself. He doesn't realize that what he did was cost himself a spot in the Elimination Chamber. He made himself look like a geek. Drew McIntyre handed him that match on a fucking silver platter. It may end up being Sami Zayn. So how did WWE go about the mystery of who's going to take Jey Uso's spot now that he's been mysteriously attacked? Well, they came up with the idea, instead of doing something in the Pro Wrestling Handbook and just leaving it a surprise, or maybe putting Drew McIntyre in there to defend his WWE Championship because he's been fucking things up lately, Nick Aldis came up with the bright idea after discussing things with Adam Pearce that Logan Paul would wrestle Jacob Fatu. And the winner of that would go to the Elimination Chamber. Now, Jacob Fatu was always going to at least factor into the main event plans of WrestleMania with or without the Chamber. Logan Paul is basically subbing for Bronson Reed, who Bronson Reed was the scheduled winner on Monday before he got hurt and tore his biceps, and by default, via audible, they gave the match to Jey Uso, who was never supposed to win the match. Bronson Reed was supposed to be in the chamber. So they just substituted. They took 5 days to figure this out. They substituted the original winner, which was a Vision member, and replaced that injured Vision member with somebody else in the Vision. The only reason why Logan Paul won this match tonight is because Jacob Fatu is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania anyway, due to Drew McIntyre's actions over the last several weeks, months. Logan Paul needs to be in the chamber so the masked man can show up, reveal himself, and then set the tone for their WrestleMania match, which may or may not include Seth Rollins teaming with Bad Bunny against Austin Theory and Logan Paul. That's the only thing that makes sense. It could be LA Knight. For all we know, we don't know what LA Knight's doing. If LA Knight is not wrestling the rumored match against Brock Lesnar, I could see him being in that tag team match with Seth Rollins. Maybe something happens in the chamber. Otherwise, LA Knight's not going to have a WrestleMania match, and then the LA Knight enthusiasts are going to lose their fucking mind. But the only reason why Logan Paul won this match is because I'm assuming the Masked Man was supposed to infiltrate the cage at some point on Saturday night and cost Bronson Reed the match. Now he's going to be able to do that with Logan Paul because Logan Paul has gone out there and said he's guaranteeing a win in the Elimination Chamber, and Logan Paul's not winning the Elimination Chamber. He's going to get fucked over by the Masked Man, the original Masked Man, not the fucking geek that they unmasked tonight, which I don't even know why that was a thing. Like, I don't even know why they did what they did. Some geek. Didn't even know who the fuck he was, a nobody. So that's the reason why. Everybody's like, why'd they pull Jey Uso? Why'd they pull Jey Uso? Everybody hates Jey Uso. We don't hate Jey Uso. We hate WWE's overexposure of Jey Uso and the yeeting and the fucking nonsense. He didn't need to be there. He's got bigger things to worry about. He's a tag team champion. He's not going to win anyway. So you might as well fill the spot with somebody that's going to give at least some progression to the story that's surrounding the vision. So that was the biggest takeaway from tonight. And we'll definitely dive into what else happened on tonight's show. The Women's Tag Team Championship's on the line. We got new Women's Tag Team Champions. We got a U.S. Open Challenge. And we got Solo Sikoa putting the lantern on the line against Uncle Howdy. Captivating, riveting television on tonight's SmackDown chat. Oh my goodness, man. We got a match tonight for the fucking lantern. Tonight we're sponsored by SeatGeek. Before we get into anything in regards to SmackDown tonight we are sponsored by SeatGeek. Make sure you guys use the SeatGeek app and use my promo code JD from NY10 to save 10% off. Tonight, we are sponsored by my great friends over at SeatGeek. How many times have you guys said, I should go to that, and then you just don't? That's the worst. You see a show coming to town, a game, a concert, maybe even a wrestling event. You think about it, you check the prices, you hesitate, and then suddenly the good seats are all gone. That's exactly why I use SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 35 million downloads and more than 70,000 events listed. From sports, concerts, festivals, wrestling. Try to get everybody excited for the Elimination Chamber. All of this did was bring back old memories of how Vince McMahon used to hype everybody up. He used to throw everybody out there. They'd interrupt each other one after another, after another, after another. And all of them basically don't say anything. I'm going to win the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to win the Elimination Chamber. Yeah. I mean, I would like at least a couple of minutes from each guy to explain to me why they deserve to win the Elimination Chamber. How does this get anybody excited? Just interruption after interruption after interruption. Vince was notorious for this. And it seemingly feels like Bruce and Triple H, they want to continue to do the old things and live on the old habits that Vince McMahon used to do that made the television show terrible then, and it doesn't make the television show any better now. There's nobody in this match that stands a chance outside of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. That's it. Logan Paul's not winning the Elimination Chamber. LA Knight, sorry, LA Knight enthusiasts. Your boy is not winning the Elimination Chamber. Good luck with Money in the Bank. You got a long way to go for that one because they pushed it back to August. It's not happening in June this year. LA Knight's not winning the Chamber. Logan Paul's not winning the Chamber. Javon Evans is not winning the Chamber. Trick Williams is not winning the Chamber. It's either Cody or Randy. I'm going with Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton makes the most sense. Drew McIntyre has attacked Cody and Jacob Fatu more than anyone else in the title picture. He attacked Randy for the first time last week, giving Aleister Black a victory in the main event over Randy Orton on SmackDown. I think that Drew McIntyre is going to somehow infiltrate the cage. I don't know when, I don't know how. I think he's going to screw Cody Rhodes out of another chance at the WrestleMania main event. Whereas he was going to give it to Sammy, I think he would rather Randy, because he's already promised that Cody's not going to get anywhere near the world title or the WrestleMania main event. Now, we talked about this on TNT, and I like Jason's idea of Randy Orton potentially being the one announced as the attacker of Jacob Fatu. He would also be revealed after tonight as the attacker on Jey Uso. I don't know if they're going to go with that direction. Either way, I think Randy Orton is going to win the Elimination Chamber. He thinks Cody Rhodes is going to win. I'm going with Randy Orton. I think it makes more sense for Randy Orton to win the Chamber, and we do what I did, what I said a couple weeks ago, and I've been saying as of last week. It's going to be officially announced as Randy versus Drew. Cody and Jacob Fatu are going to get into the WrestleMania main event because Drew McIntyre fucked around and found out. And Nick Aldis is going to add them because Drew McIntyre can't help himself. And after months and weeks of just doing what he wants and thinking that there will be no consequences for his actions, now he's looking at a fatal four-way. Now, granted, it sounds a little stupid because the Chamber should give way to the one remaining match that needs to fill out the other main event. It should be one man. You got 6 guys in the Chamber, and one man should emerge as the winner, and we should get that main event for night 1. This year, it's going to yield 3 winners. 1 officially in the Chamber Saturday night, and 2 others that will be added because WWE realizes that if they go with Drew versus Jacob Fatu or Drew versus Cody Rhodes, that a simple one-on-one match will be boring, especially Cody versus Drew again for the 9th fucking time. Boring. This will not end up being a one-on-one match. There is absolutely no way WrestleMania Night 1 main event is going to remain a one-on-one match. It's going to be a triple threat, or in this case, in my opinion, a fatal four-way. That's what I think we're doing. Now, who is revealed as the attacker, I don't know. Jacob Fatu tends to think that Drew McIntyre attacked him, and he said it again tonight. He said it weeks ago. But they never gave a definitive answer on that. I hope all of this leads to Randy Orton eventually turning heel, regardless if he's the guy who attacked Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, or not. Randy Orton turning heel is the play. Randy Orton winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania is the play. You don't need to pin Drew McIntyre to lose the championship. Randy Orton wins the championship, Cody chases Randy Orton into SummerSlam, and you give the SmackDown brand a little rest with Cody as champion. Having him go to WrestleMania and wrestle in the main event to win the championship again is fucking boring. Nobody wants to see Cody Rhodes as the champion again so soon. Give him some struggle. What type of struggle should we give Cody Rhodes? Randy Orton as a heel, as a viper, as a legend killer. That's what we need. Randy Orton is walking out of WrestleMania as the WWE champion. That's my opinion. And I think that's what's best for business here. Then you can do Cody versus Randy with Cody chasing, and then you can go do Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre, which is a natural progression coming out of WrestleMania. Then you got Trick Williams, and then you got Sami Zayn, and then you got Aleister Black. There will be plenty for Randy Orton to do. That's the way that I see it all playing out. Cody winning is the worst idea. Tiffany Stratton. She was interviewed, Asuka interrupted her, and we got a match between them tonight, which never ended up being because Asuka subbed in Kairi Singh. Solo Sikoa. He went one-on-one with Uncle Howdy for the Lantern. Now, someone in the chat here tonight said that Wade Barrett said that the essence of Bray Wyatt was in the Lantern. You know, I really wish that Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, would have said something about that being the case, and we didn't have to hear it from Wade Barrett. Not like that's gonna make anything more interesting, but who gives a shit? This is some of the worst television on your weekly pro wrestling shows. The MFTs versus the Wyatt Six is some of the most offensive, creative that we've been given for the last 6 months here. It's awful. None of it's exciting, none of it's interesting, and none of it's good. None of it. I do want to give Solo his flowers, though. Solo has slowly become a very good performer. He's always been decent. But I think Solo, when he's tasked with going in the ring and wrestling in a big-time match, I think he always shows up and goes to work. I think he's very good. Uncle Howdy. Does anybody care about Uncle Howdy? Uncle Howdy, you know, there was one point in time where Uncle Howdy was captivating and mysterious, and he was unpredictable. He didn't know where Uncle Howdy was going to show up, right? Uncle Howdy has become his own joke. He looks terrible. There's nothing about him that is even remotely interesting. And the getup is goofy. What's with the long braids, bro? Like, I get you trying to model yourself after The Fiend, but the whole getup is just goofy. None of it is intimidating at all. I thought the original concept for Uncle Howdy was fucking really, really creative. I don't know what the fuck this is. I really don't. It went from being creative and unique and interesting and mysterious to goofy, cringy, and get off my TV worthy. Yes. Wowie in the chat. 2023 Howdy was peak in terms of aura. Yes. Guy would come out, he'd snap his fucking fingers with his cane. This version of whatever the Wyatt Six is and this version of Uncle Howdy is just legitimately channel-changing television. Lantern's on the line. The Lantern was given championship treatment here, Chad. It was on the podium. It was on that little podium by commentary that they usually place the championships on. Match started. Solo motioned himself towards the Lantern. We got a test of strength between him and Uncle Howdy. Solo shoved Howdy, missed with a big strike. Howdy then did Bray Wyatt's corner taunts to Solo Sikoa. You know the one that he does upside down? Solo locked in a rest hold on Howdy. Howdy got out of it. Two of them trade strikes as Uncle Howdy took down Solo with a big running flying forearm. Howdy tried to go for Sister Abigail. Solo got out of harm's way and rolled out of the ring. We're down at ringside now. Solo missed with the Samoan spike. Howdy dodged it, which caused Solo's thumb to make impact on the steel post. Howdy then clotheslined Solo over the timekeeper's barricade, and he stared at the Wyatt Lantern. Ooh, he's getting mysterious powers from the Lantern. We go back in the ring. Howdy got hit with a punch from Solo. We then threw him into the middle turnbuckle, and he put Howdy down as we go into a commercial break. We come back from the break. Howdy was back in the ring trying to make a comeback here against Solo. He went down. Samoan drop by Solo. Solo goes for a cover. He gets a near fall. Howdy then goes after Solo's hurt thumb because he hit the steel post moments before. He then pummeled his face with some strikes in the corner. He attempted a clothesline, which was blocked by Solo, who dropped Howdy with his spinning solo. He goes off to the top rope. He jumps off, and he hits the Uso splash on Howdy for a 2 count. Solo has a much better Uso splash than both of his brothers combined. I don't know why his looks good and the others don't. Howdy tried to recover here. Solo stalked him, picked him up, put him in position for Sister Abigail of his own. Howdy counted that into a mandible claw. Solo got out of it with a Samoan spike on Uncle Howdy, which sent him into the corner. Solo managed to hit a running hip attack, and again, he went for a third, but he was taken out by Howdy, who finished Solo off with a Sister Abigail. Uncle Howdy theoretically won the lantern back. After the match, Howdy went to go reclaim the lantern. All of the MFTs ambushed Uncle Howdy as soon as he grabbed the lantern, took him out in a 4-on-1 attack, and stole the lantern back and ran away with it. We had to sit through a match for 13 fucking minutes as two guys who nobody cares about, in a feud nobody cares about, battling over a fucking lantern. The guy who had his lantern stolen won the match, won the right to get the lantern back, only to then have the lantern stolen again. Peak storytelling at its finest in WWE chat. Instead of ending this misery, Bruce and company, Triple H and company, think it's the best idea to have the lantern once again stolen. Somebody has a fetish with storylines where things are stolen and confiscated. Bruce has a fetish with storylines which involve stealing. And Triple H has a fetish with storylines that involve masked men. Which I don't know what that says about Triple H and what he does in his off time, but both are equally fucking terrible. They actually, instead of ending it, have opted to continue this fucking horrendous storyline between two groups that are ice cold. Some great television there, chat. Some great television, man. You're gonna get it again. Nick Aldis. He went to go talk to Drew McIntyre. He was arguing with Drew McIntyre, and what was left of the Vision confronted Nick Aldis. They were there on SmackDown tonight. Paul Heyman advocated to Aldis to put Logan Paul inside the Elimination Chamber to fill in for the injured Jey Uso. Aldis didn't take the bait as he suggested that it was very convenient that the Vision benefited from Uso's injury. Were you the guys that attacked him? Aldis says, I have to make some calls if you want me to make a decision like that. And there are a lot of politics and business involved in this decision. No, the Vision did not attack Us. That would be not good. Rhea Ripley. She and Io Sky were interviewed ahead of their women's tag team title defense against Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Ripley said she had to take things one at a time and was focused on beating Jax and Lash tonight. Io then continued stating that after tonight, Ripley would win the Women's Elimination Chamber and go on to WrestleMania to become champion. Ripley put herself and Sky over as a team that wins because they have each other's back. It's very interesting with the outcome of the Women's Tag Team Championship match tonight. What they're doing with the Women's Elimination Chamber and the outcome of the Women's Elimination Chamber. I don't think Rhea Ripley's winning the Women's Elimination Chamber. I don't. Because if Rhea Ripley wins, you gotta think about it like this. If Rhea Ripley wins the Women's Elimination Chamber, it's Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. What exactly does Io Sky do? What does Io do at Mania? I don't see Rhea getting Jade. First of all, I don't want to see that. None of these matches with any of these women involved in the chamber is going to be a good match for Jade. None of them. Jade is terrible. But if Rhea Ripley wins the chamber, you're theoretically leaving Io off the Mania card. The only way she gets involved is if she gets added to make it a threat match. We get Rhea, Io, and Jade, which, why would you do that? Because that's basically what we got last year, minus Bianca Belair. Doesn't make any sense. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I don't think Rhea Ripley's winning the Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton. She was supposed to go one-on-one with Asuka. Asuka wanted this match with Tiffany in the back.
Well, I will stop the video. I don't want to make it too long. I think I made it long enough. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. I will do a live stream for the chamber tomorrow. So until then, I'll see y'all later.